I got something to say. I got something to say. We all got something to say. Speak up, stand up, wake up, get down. Everybody in the world know your feelings. Sing a little more love and it's very easy. I got something to say. We all got something to say. Speak up, stand up, wake up, get down.
I got something to say. What's up, Mimi?
Hey,
How,
hey, Don, what's going on with you? How was your trip?
how look?
Naked.
Uh,
I said he loved them damn man panties, boy.
wait.
How many, like, how many man panties you got?
Why they gotta be
You
panties?
ain't got. Well, that's what they was them some little. They was little.
They
Them
was
things was. I mean, little. Did they have a? Did they have a? Was your back out?
no. The back was completely covered.
Child,
Completely.
you look like you was
What's
wearing
up,
an eye
stranger?
patch.
I look like I was wearing what?
An eye patch
No,
over
no,
your
no, no,
crack.
no. So listen,
And then
listen.
you got my baby Brandon up on there. He was covered up at first. Then he done started it all out in the end.
No. So what people don't understand, people always try to blame it on Lamont, but it's my best friend that encourages foolishness. Brandon be like, "Yeah, go on and do it." What's up, Charles? And so the thing about it, Mimi, I'm 44, 44, and so
Mm.
I've never ever wore Speedo before, ever in my life, because I was always ashamed, or I didn't feel like I could pull it off, or I can do it, or anything like that. So I decided that on this trip, on this best friend's trip, I was going to show out and I was going to wear Speedo every day. That was my goal. And I said I was going to put on one every day, and I didn't care, or whatever. So the whole week before we went, I was on a juice diet, bitch. I didn't eat nothing because I wanted to be sure that I looked okay in these things. So I was really dieting, and I was trying to do this. And I work out.
Right.
I was getting up in the morning, going out, doing the bridge, and I was really, really on it. And so then my first day when I got there, I was just like, I'm
Really wanted to wear them little things.
honey, listen, I put the first pair on. I was just like, okay, you all right? You all right? And so then I started eating while I was there. You know, all that food there, I was eating and stuff. And I was just like, wait a minute, slow down, Lamont. Ashanti said I did it. Thank you so much, sweetheart. And I was just like, let me slow down. And so then I started looking at myself, and so I wouldn't eat. I started drinking and stuff. And so it was just one of those things. So I was just like, I'm gonna wear these every day. And girl, my mama called.
Child, my inbox it was jumping.
Was your inbox jumping? Mine
My
was.
inbox and my messaging. My message, my text. I'm like, what's going on with your boy? I said, you on vacation. I said, that's how I said. I said,
No, I
he just living.
I had so many people like, you look good. I even had some people. What's up, Linda Carter? I had some people that came and they were nasty. One woman said, "Why you got on these pink panties? You don't need to wear these pink panties. Um, are you a man of God? You shouldn't put that on. And why are you
Oh,
naked?
Lord.
You represent the church." I mean, I had all kinds of comments. And my thing was, I can do what I want to do. It doesn't define my religion just because I put on something. And I was just like, okay, well,
You was
whatever.
polite. You was polite when you responded, wasn't you?
You know
I
what?
know you was. I
Some
know you
people,
was.
no. Guess what? I didn't even
Yeah.
respond. My
Oh, okay.
mama called. My mother called me and was just like,
Uh-huh.
Lamont, I ain't gonna tell you everything she said. But she was like, basically, she was like, put on some clothes right now, right now. I mean, put on some clothes. And I was just like, nah. And so the next day I put on another one, and she just was like, oh, you just gonna do what you want to do. And I am. I'm 44. I'm
Yeah.
44. And it wasn't like I put on something that I look bad in. I didn't think I looked bad in them. And so my thing was
You was
like,
telling me.
it is what it is. I did
You
it.
something.
I could.
I was just hoping ain't nothing peak food. Cause them things was love, child. I said he must have tucked them up in there real good.
But yes, my inbox was popping. Um, it was popping. Um, if I was to show you my inbox, you'd be like, "What? What?" It was popping.
Yeah.
I had some preachers, some teachers, some lawyers.
How many folks was trying to get with you on the GA in
I
that inbox
preachers,
from the
listen to
church?
me. I had some preachers. I had some teachers. I had some. I had.
Mm,
It was all kinds of people. Thank you so much, D. It was all kinds of people that reached out to me. And my thing is,
right.
I appreciate the love that I got. I appreciate the love that I got. And you know what? I'm not taking it back. I don't care what nobody has to say. I did what I wanted to do. What happened? There she goes. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. Can you hear me now? It's you. She talking about wait 1 second. Oh, we lost Mimi. So let me tell y'all where Mimi is, y'all. So y'all can get her together. Mimi's in the nail shop. hmm During our show, Mimi is in the nail shop, and tonight is her show. It's scenarios. It's her show, and Mimi is in the nail shop. But I ain't mad at her because you have to do self care first. There she goes. You have to do self care first, and so hey, it is what it is. And so I'm waiting on Mimi to get back in. But other than that, vacation was wonderful. I missed you all. I hate that Mimi, couldn't go with me. I thought my girl was gonna go with me, but she didn't get to go. But it's all good. So tonight's show, you look damn good, because and my homies couldn't believe that you were my blood. Live life to the fullest, fam. I love you. Oh, thank you, Shell. Thank you, Mimi. You back? You good? Are you good, Mimi? Lord Jesus. It's one of those nights, y'all. She keep hanging up. So anyway, I want to talk to you all. I know that we're waiting on Mimi to get back in, but I have enough people here that will talk back to me, which is a good thing. And so let's talk about this COVID scare that's come. Oh, there she goes. I was about to go to a whole nother page, Mimi, but I see you, girl. Can you hear me? What's up, Kim? Can you hear us? I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't hear you at
Take the
all.
earphone out. It's hooked to your phone. Yeah. And we hear everything she's saying.
That's because you ain't supposed to.
You look like you had a great time. I did, Christelle. Thank you so much. Take those off. Take them off. Now, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Mimi, I don't know what's going on with Mimi, y'all. I want her to disconnect her
I
earpod.
still can't hear you.
I can hear you.
Did you turn it down? No, something is going on with my Bluetooth. Hang up and well, do you That's have what I did. Wi-Fi?
So
Do you
listen.
need Wi-Fi?
So
No, I
let's
don't need I turned everything.
She in the nail shop, y'all. I don't know what's going on with Mimi. Mimi had to do self-care tonight. So let's talk about this COVID scare. How many of you are actually prepared or taking the necessary precautions to
You
cover
like me?
yourself
No,
to make
I can't
sure that
hear
you're
you.
doing good? And what I mean by that is
All I see is your.
what I mean by that is that you're still wearing your mask and things of that nature. Mimi.
Let me try turn. I'm gonna turn it off and come back in and turn it back on.
Um, and so what I mean by that is you're actually wearing your mask and things like that, because that's very important. So how many of y'all are still doing that? Kim laughing at us because Mimi's stuff is messed up. Kim, this is a time to get her back. You remember when she was asking you if you was buying your stuff on Wish? She must have got her stuff off of Wish. So you can talk about her back now. So how many of you are doing that? Linda Carter says she's still wearing her mask. Charles says I'm vaccinated. I'm still wearing my mask. Click Photos is waving, hey, what's up? D said, I never stop being cautious. I mean, you can't. In the times like this, my cousin Rochelle is saying that she's still wearing her mask. I mean, and you have to. It's really, 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 really important that people are getting vaccinated and people are still, Kim, we know you don't. And I don't sometimes at work. A lot of times I don't at work. Sharona says she's still wearing hers. So how many, I mean, it's important that you're getting vaccinated. People that have not been vaccinated should be getting vaccinated. And if you don't believe in being vaccinated, I suggest you should. My niece, she's 15, and in her mind, she felt like that if she got vaccinated, they were putting stuff in her body that was going to control her and things like that. But she actually got diagnosed with COVID on this week, and so it's one of those situations to where we as people have to educate ourselves and get vaccinated and take the precautions that you have to. I know that sometimes it feels awkward. Kim says it felt awkward wearing it at the airport this morning. You know, it does feel weird. You know, I was on a flight for 3.5 hours and I had to keep it on the whole time. And then it was just like, it was hard. But then I had to realize that, you know, it's very, very important with the pandemic that we have going on. And not only that, there's so many people that are not being cautious, that they're still mishandling themselves and going all over the place. So you have to be really, really careful. So if one thing you don't learn that you should learn is that you have to protect yourself. So many people have died from it. And I know that we still don't really truly know about it. I'm considering not even going to a hair show next month in New Orleans because of the pandemic and the new strain that's going along and how things are going along. Roxanne Cole says, I'm vaccinated and still wearing my mask because cases are still going up. And it depends on who I'm around, because I'm around those people every day. We're not out at all at the same time. I agree with you totally. You have to be very, very careful. Here's Mimi. Let's see if we can hear Mimi. Can we hear you, Mimi?
Yeah.
Oh, she back. Yes. Hot stuff is back. And so, Mimi, what I was talking to everyone about is how important it is that we're still being vaccinated and that we're still wearing masks. I mean,
them numbers going up.
they are going up. And how do you feel? Because you were diagnosed with COVID. You had
I still have side effects.
You still have side effects. And so
Mm-hmm.
while you're back at work now, how are you protecting yourself at the MGM?
Still washing my hands. The good thing is that my antibody count is still very, very high.
Mhm.
So if I were to get um if I were to get vaccinated right now, I would probably get sick.
Okay.
So I have to wait until, I mean, it's a good thing that they're still very high, but I
Mhm.
have to wait until my stuff go down a little bit more. Because at this rate, my doctor said I would, if I got the vaccine, I'd probably be hospitalized.
Okay. And so we
Yeah.
don't want that to happen again because
Hell no.
girl, girl, I remember back
Yeah.
when you had it. You was
That
almost
shit it was no joke. But
look,
it drive me crazy because being in the high limit room, I'm in there. It's a bunch of Trump supporters. That's I mean that's the folks with money. It's a bunch of them, and they still act like it's a hoax, and you
right,
know yeah, and I'm just like
right. I was sharing with them that
it got to happen to them before they
yeah.
before it's real.
I was sharing with them how my 15-year-old niece got diagnosed with it this week. And part of her reasoning for not getting vaccinated, because her mom has been vaccinated, everybody else has been vaccinated, but she did not want to be vaccinated. And the reason why she did not get vaccinated was because she believes that it's a way to control us. And people are shooting stuff in the body that they don't know about and things like this. And so now she's scared. She still doesn't want to be vaccinated, but she's at home and she's sick. And so I called her today and I FaceTime and she was like, Uncle Lamont, you just called to check on me. And I was like, I did. And I also want to talk to you the importance of being vaccinated. It's very important that you go out and do the right thing. And I can't, I didn't push my son in getting it. I waited until he was ready to get it. But my thing is, we as Black people, it's very, very important that we do the research that we need to do and make sure that we're protecting ourselves. We are not.
Yeah, the other part of that is you can't fault a lot of us for
You can't.
feeling for being afraid, because this country does not have the best track record with medical trials and us or of anybody of color.
Right, right.
It's scary, it is. It just is.
Tell her to call me, Roxanne. But yeah, totally agree. We do not have the best track record with vaccinations or with medicine or anything like that. And so I get it wholeheartedly and I understand. So that's the reason why I tell people it's really important that you are doing the things that you need to do to educate yourself and to protect yourself. Kim, my girlfriend Kim is always saying that, she didn't want to wear a mask, but best believe while we at work, Kim is spraying stuff down. She washing her hands. We own it. We are on it at work because, that's just one of those things. And then we have so many people that are around us. So we don't let a lot of people in our office. My office is high traffic, but I got some Lysol spray. So I'll be laying back all the time. I mean, because we have to protect ourselves. So with that being said about my job, I know that we have a lot of viewers. We have a lot of people that watch us. And so my boss's mom is transitioning. She has cancer. And so I'm asking that everybody would pray for my boss, Elena, and her family, because this is a very hard time for her. And so we're asking that you would pray for her and that, she'll just have peace. And we know that it has to happen. So we're just asking that y'all would pray for her. And that's it. That's what I want y'all to do because I love my boss and we're friends. And I believe that she would not care that I asked for people to pray for her. So that's what I am going to ask. So now it is Mimi's show, y'all, tonight.
It's probably gonna be a short show, but I do have two good scenarios.
Okay, so let's get started.
They are actually scenarios that have actually happened. So I'm not gonna say no names, but I do know
She will though. She will.
Not for these. Absolutely not.
Oh, this is good then. We're gonna get the news out of it tonight, y'all. Go ahead, Mimi.
So the name of the show, we do this now once a month. So it's what's the scenario and what would you do if you were in this situation? So the first scenario, and like I said, this actually happened. Husband and wife, and let's just say it was you. Oh, you're married to someone 15 years, you have 3 children. Your spouse has kept concealed that they have HIV. Okay. You've had 3 children. They've done medication, the first 2 children are fine, but this is all still secret. The last one ended up contracting the disease and has been very sickly on and off for many years. Still has kept it from the husband. The child ended up passing away. Okay. And mind you, they have 2 other children. And at the child's passing, only did the husband find out that the child died from AIDS. Would you stay? Or what would you do?
So let's go back. Let me recap the story because I want to make sure that I'm getting the story correctly. So you said it's a husband and a wife. They're married. So evidently the wife has been HIV positive.
Yes.
And she marries this man, but she's self-medicated. She's medicated.
No, not self-medicated. She's on medication. Yeah.
She's on medication, but she has 2 children by the man, and neither one of them come out positive.
Well, she took medication while she was pregnant.
Okay, but he did not know that.
He didn't.
Okay, so then the third one comes along, and she didn't get on the medication again?
She did the medication, it just didn't take.
The medicine didn't take the third time.
This particular child, yes.
And so this whole time she goes around with this child, and this child is sickly. And so the child...
She knows why the child is sickly. And she's not sick.
But she's not sick. But she never... Okay, so the child dies?
The child ended up dying at like 12 years later.
but the husband has never tested positive for HIV.
Mm-mm.
And so your question is, should he stay or should he go?
Would you stay or would you go?
That is a very that's hard. And
Yeah.
let me tell you why that's hard. Um, we have two children. We have two children that we have had together. I've been with you the whole time, and
Hmm.
you we have another child, and our third child has HIV, but you don't tell me what's wrong with your child. So then my thing is, as a father, why am I not trying to figure out what's wrong with my child? Why am
Because
I?
because you trust your wife.
But I do
But
I
that but see that's the thing. And that's what it goes with the individual. Some people just have that blind trust in their spouse.
but do am
And I mean, but just think about it. Would you think that first of all, would you think that your spouse would keep something like that away from you? And then would you think they would not, conceal, that if the child was sick and let you know what was going on? So whatever she was telling him, she's handling it because a lot of times in the two-parent household, mommy handles most of the stuff.
yeah, but
Handle the doctor visits and the the medicine, giving the medicine and tending to the child.
But Mimi, I just think that as a father, when my child got so sick, I'd have been asking questions. It's not just on her no more. I'm
But the
going
thing
to the
is,
doctor with you.
I know you asked questions, and she had a covered. Some people are very good at deception.
What's up, Debbie? We missed you too. Debbie talking about finally I get to see y'all. So, but you didn't miss the first 20 minutes, me, Debbie. But anyway, I get it. We got life. I get it. I get it. I get it. So here's the thing. As a parent,
Hmm.
do I just sit to the side and be like, okay, she got it, she got it, and I see this child that is sick? For this
No,
child,
what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that like how you saying, like she
yeah,
got it. The thing is, he trusted his wife was handling it.
that's what I
I'm
mean.
sure he tended to the child and would do different things in the house and stuff like that. But with the on and off the doctor visits, she whatever she told him, he bought it.
But Mimi, this child had to get really, really sick. That people live with HIV for 20 and 30 years.
And some people die quickly, so it depends on the individual.
Mimi's so pretty. Yes,
Thank
she is.
you.
But
Thank you.
um, I'm having a hard time with this one because as a
No,
parent,
it was hard, but I'm gonna tell you after you tell me what's the thing. I'm gonna tell you what actually happened.
so for me as a parent, it would have never went down like that. I
Hmm.
would have asked some questions. I'd have been at those doctor's appointments, and I know that some parents can't go, but I'd have went to one or two. And as a father, I would have tried to see what was going on with my child. You
Yeah,
know, I also know that it depends on the sex of the child that died. Was it a female child or was it a male child?
it was a female.
So that changes the game a little bit. And I'm gonna tell you why, because most men don't want to know what's going on with the female. And so the wife could have lied and said she has some female issues or it's some things like that. So he probably did not investigate a whole lot because
Mhm.
men, that's something that men don't do. They don't want to know what's going on with the female body. All they want to do is be able to know when the girl is old enough. They
Right.
just, they just want to be able to just slide in. That's all they care about. They don't care about the other things that go on with the female body. You only gonna find that those sensitive guys or those guys that are like Lamont that They just got them good girlfriends that discuss their body that you just can listen to that would try to investigate. So I can get why the man now did not investigate to find
Yeah.
out he could have covered it up with something like that. However,
But I
I
just think nobody would ever think that this spouse would deceive them on that level for that long. I mean, that was a heavy, heavy, heavy burden and lie that she was carrying. That man, that was serious.
Mimi, I probably at this point she would
Hmm.
die. She would die.
But
I
it
would
was,
hurt her. I would hurt her. And the
yeah.
reason why I would hurt her is because not only have you put my life in jeopardy the first two times with these
Hmm.
kids, but now we brought in life. We brought children into this that we are not preparing or not taking the precautions to make sure that they are the gay. They are okay.
Right,
She said that the child was 12 when the child passed.
right.
And so my thing is, there are still safe precautions that people can take, even when both spouses are either HIV positive or one is HIV positive. You could have
Mhm.
told this man that you were positive and then still gave him the choice. Do we bring children into this? Because it's something hard to have to deal with that. I have friends that are positive. I know people that have
Right,
lived with the disease for 20 years, 20 plus years. You know,
right.
so my thing is you give people the opportunity. You let people choose. So she would die. She would die. And the thing about it is I probably would take my children and leave her and just leave her where she is and let her be on her own because clearly you're selfish and that you don't care enough that you want to even protect our children because the child probably could have lived. Have you told me the truth? We probably could have protected this child. We could have probably got the child some help had you told me the truth. But probably,
No, this is the thing. No, it wasn't that. The mother did everything that she could. The child was going to, the doctors and, getting the treatments and everything. It just so happened that their system just wasn't strong enough. And,
I
and this was and this was many, many, many years ago. So this wasn't, because we all know we've all lost people to, HIV AIDS. And the medication they've come leaps and bounds above what they once were. So
Mhm.
this was a very long time ago. And what I'm gonna say, and I know this is gonna be controversial because normally I'm open and shut, but when I was told this scenario from it was the niece of one of my good clients
Okay.
years ago, and she was so angry, and I was like, what I did was I put myself in the wife's shoes. Okay, so you are, now you have contracted this disease. It was scary back then. It had a very bad stigma. It still has a negative stigma on it. It's just people are a lot better, but it still has negative stigma. People want to still keep it quiet.
Mhm.
But back then, it was a very lonely disease. It was scary. This was a young woman. She wanted to get married. I'm not saying that she did it right, but I could just imagine you want to still experience life and have kids and get married and everything else. They're wrong, but I could honestly, in her mind, how she rationalized, if I do this, I can take care of this and won't nobody get sick. I'm not saying it was right, but how some folks' minds work. You know, I could, yeah.
So this is my thing with her. I'm not, and I get where you're coming from, Mimi.
I wouldn't do it, but I try to just put myself in. And that one for me wasn't as black and white.
I hear you. I hear you. Yes, she at the nail shop, Debbie.
My day has been crazy. My week has been crazy. So, but my nail tech is taking me, after hours. She
And
really
what
don't want to hear the show, but she's sitting through it
you don't want
for
to
me.
hear our show?
No, she don't want to hear it.
no, I don't.
But it's all right. But you know, everybody making sacrifices tonight. So I
I
appreciate
appreciate.
so
I
much, so
appreciate.
much.
I appreciate
But
Chanel today because I
I'm
tried
just
to get
having to
in with.
multitask right now.
I,
But I can, like I said, I could totally understand. I'm not. It wasn't right. Absolutely not. I wouldn't do it. But I can totally, I can empathize with the situation. I mean, I can.
I
Yeah.
can't. I can't. I think it's just a selfish, and part of it is, and let me tell you why I feel like it's so selfish is because, it was always considered as a gay person's disease. It was a homosexual disease. And so
Mhm.
most times people will say, oh, the homosexuals did this or the gays did this. This is a curse for the gays and all this and that. And then here it is that you have females that are straight that are actually out there infecting people, but we don't talk about those females. We only talk about the
But
gays.
we don't talk about as well, and this was a very big problem in our community. A lot of it carried over from men that were on the down low, married to these black women.
And you know what? I
Was
can get
sleeping
with
with. I
that.
mean, I'm just saying. I'm not saying if nobody deserves. It's like because I remember I had my two uncles had it. Because they were homosexuals, and I remember my aunt saying, when somebody from her church said, well, how he get? She said, he didn't get it the bad way. He got a blood transfusion, and I was sitting there like, stop lying. Ain't no damn good way or bad way. You get it, you get it. It don't matter. Now you got it. You got to deal with it. But it's like I said, it's always been that negative stigma. But and I really truly believe nothing has been done with it because it affected all the people that white folks didn't want to deal with. Blacks, gays, the minority community.
I mean, I know people. I, so my thing with her is I feel like that she should have given the man a chance to
She should
choose.
have.
She should
Absolutely.
she should have given the man a chance to choose. Also, the kids didn't ask for that,
Mhm.
and so my thing is, you have to. She still should be educating her children because my question now would be: is I need to know more. Did she educate the kids? Are the kids being treated now? Are they being educated? Because just because they didn't have it then doesn't mean that they can't still develop it. Because it
Mhm.
can lie dormant for 10 years in the body or more. It just depends on how your body fights off infections and things of that nature. And so it comes back to the point of education. If she had educated him, then he still could have chosen to say, "Hey, you know what, babe? I still want to be with you. I still want to be with you." I've had I've had men that have approached me that have been positive. Now, back in the day, this is when I was very naive and new to the gay game, or just really, really coming out and experiencing. If my thing would have been a hell no, we can't date, we can't talk, because I was dumb and I was naive and I didn't understand it. But now, in this game now, could I date someone that's positive? Absolutely. Could
Mhm.
I be intimate with the person that was positive? Absolutely, because I've been educated and I understand it. And I know that there are precautions that I can take. And Debbie's been on here talking about she hates the fact that there's not prep for women. Um, there's no preventative measures for women other than condoms and things of that nature, and that's a sad thing that they're not offering women what they're offering men. But then it also goes back to say it's all also that sexist thing. Why have we not tried to develop anything to protect women? And
Who
why we
says that they haven't tried? But what I'm thinking with the stuff for prep, because I seen the commercial when they say it's not for women that were assigned women at birth. Maybe it messes with your reproductive organ
it
system.
could.
Maybe they have tried, but they just haven't come up with something yet. So I mean, who knows? We don't know.
Lord, we is helping people out. Look, Debbie says, speaking of coming out, I finally did it, y'all. I told my mama that I'm bisexual. Congratulations, Debbie. Not only did you tell your mama, but you told all the viewers that you are bisexual and I'm allergic to latex. Well, baby, listen, get you some latex. Well, the lambskin condoms, try those. I mean, I don't know. You're going to have to do something, but Congratulations, Debbie. Um, I love stuff like this. I think that this is one of those things, Mimi, I would be out. I'm taking my kids with me. I'm gonna shoot you the deuces and everything. Tell me what this man did, because you said you
He
have to
stayed.
tell me what he did.
He stayed.
You know what?
He stayed, and the other children are fine. They worked through it. So he loved this woman that much,
Is she still alive?
and she's still alive. Yep.
You know, why did he stay?
Don't know. Why do anybody do what they do? Sometimes a man and a woman have an understanding that don't nobody else understand.
You know what? I totally agree with you. I
Yeah.
totally agree with you. Debbie, thank you. That's what we're here for. We're just here to have these open conversations that some
Mhm.
people are afraid to have. You know, um, by his saying. Now, so I can, I'm sorry, D, I can't hide my facial expressions. So I look at it two different ways. Did he stay because he felt like nobody else would want him because he had been with this woman?
Well, I mean, he didn't. He didn't. He's still negative.
Has he? Does everybody else know that?
No,
Don't nobody know she's positive?
no.
Oh wow! But the niece know.
Just the the family.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh wow! I do live my truth, Debbie. I do. Um. Wow. That's love.
No, that was deep. That one was,
Very
but
deep.
he
Because I
stayed. I
don't.
mean, that one right there. I said that man was a saint.
You know, Linda, she said it's still a secret. Um, well, it ain't no secret. Let me tell you why. It ain't no secret. It's just one of those things that family don't talk about. It's like having that gay uncle that y'all ain't never seen nobody with. He ain't never been with no wife, but y'all know the truth. That's what he is. That's all it is. Everybody know. Everybody know. And I guarantee you, when they leave from a family function, they just, child, y'all put y'all plates up. Put
And
the
that's
plate.
true. What, D just said. She said Cookie stayed with Magic, and since the thing is, when they had, but their son didn't have it either. She didn't have it, and the son didn't have it.
But I
So
don't.
what?
I think that he developed it way after the son was born, didn't he?
No, she found out when she was pregnant.
Oh, okay. You
Yeah.
know, you know, but the thing about Cookie and Magic, they didn't have two kids before Magic told Cookie.
Okay. I mean, I'm not saying
No,
that,
I'm saying,
yeah,
I'm just saying, I just, that's a hard one. It would be hard for me.
absolutely. I know. Let me tell you something. I know that that decision for him didn't come easily, and I know for many, many years they probably, it was a lot of resentment and stuff that he had to work through. I'm absolutely sure of it.
Yeah, yeah, I know it's
Absolutely
something
sure
that they
of it.
had to
But they
work through.
but they got through it.
I dated a dude back in the day, and this is what I was talking about when I said absolutely not. We can't.
Mhm.
And part of it came from deception. I had been with him for a while.
Right.
Actually, we had been together, we had messed around, and we broke up, and then I went back to him. And we decided that we were going to make our relationship work. But then when I came back to him, he told me then that he was positive. But my thing is, we'd already been together. So how the hell you gonna tell me this? And this was back. Oh my God, this was
But
about
this happened to one of my good friends that works with me now,
yeah.
over at the casino. He's positive, okay, and he was dating a gentleman, but he's like it was in the heat of the moment. He normally has the talk, but stuff just it got heated and it went on real quick. You know, it happened. He said he had to come back after, but it's like, and thank God nothing has happened.
Well,
But you know,
this was like 20 years ago with this dude.
mhm.
And, when he came back and he told me, of course I was scared and, went to the doctor and crying and stuff. And I was just like, no, we can't be together because I felt like that he had deceived me, but years later, whenever I forgave him and we were able to actually have a conversation, he had only just found out. He
Right.
had only just found out. But I was so mad in the beginning to where we didn't have that conversation. So I think that for me, honesty is always important up front. I
Right.
don't have a problem now that that I'm single. And so that if there is a dude that is interested in, or I'm talking to a dude or something like that, and if he is positive, we can work through that. I don't have a problem with it as long as we're open and honest in the beginning. Let's talk about it and let's see what we need to do. I'm even willing to go to the doctor with you. I'm willing to do investigating about your
Right.
medication that you're on. I'm willing to sit through it with you, but let's talk about it. Don't
Right.
just wait until it's happened and
Yeah.
then you go, and then I'm looking crazy, you looking crazy, and now we both looking crazy when we all could have done something to prevent it. So I think it's very important, and it goes back to safe sex. I think that safe sex is very important, especially if you one of these people that you going around and you just being with any and everybody. You need to protect yourself. I'm
I
never going.
believe everybody that's not in a committed relationship, even sometimes when you're in a committed relationship, but when you're not, you need to act like everybody got it, or you know that's how you gotta act. You act like you gotta protect yourself.
You have you have to, because the thing about it is there's been there's been this guy that's on the internet, and I'm not going to even call his name, but
Mhm.
he always talks about this one particular individual, and so he calls him out on his stuff a whole lot. And so he had taken a picture of the dude having his feet up, and at the bottom of his feet there were a whole bunch of black marks. And he was like, y'all know what this means. And so you had people like me that was just like, no, what does it mean? And all this and that. And so generally that's a sign for syphilis. When you see a whole bunch of black specks on the bottom of a person's foot, or their hands or palms and stuff, it's
Right.
usually a general sign of syphilis. And so we
Right.
as people don't know that, because I didn't know that. And
Right.
so it's kind of like one of those things, oh my gosh. So then it makes you, while I was in Cancun, and you know how people had their feet up, I was looking at everybody's feet when I was swimming by.
Looking at the bottom of people's feet.
Yeah. I mean, because it just opened my eyes to stuff. Because now you pay attention to stuff like that. And it's really, really, really important that you educate yourself. You laughing at me, Mimi, but it's
No, I was laughing at you the child. You walk around in the little man panties looking at the bottom of people's feet.
I show up.
Huh?
Listen, listen. Those are
You gonna
things that
have me
we
looking at the bottom of people's feet next time I go to something. Go
uh-huh,
to
you will. And look at the hands. I mean, so those are things that you have to do. Too many April, one of my friends from high school says, totally agree with me. Too many people only care about themselves. So you have to watch out for yourself because no one else will.
absolutely.
I totally agree. Leslie Brown has
And I
said,
mean honestly, because I've heard like this guy was on Facebook. It was so messed up. He had basically it said put his medical records up, said, yeah, I got it. And I've been with these women, I done told them, and they still, it was just a mess on Facebook. And I was like, why are people still sleeping with folks unprotected in this
well,
day and age? I mean, seriously.
you want me to tell you why?
Why?
You really want me to tell you why? Because a
Yeah.
lot of times it's one of those things that I can prove to you that I'm not sick. If I can lay down with you without put on protection, then that's saying that I'm good.
That
And you,
means I can lie.
that's what it should mean to us. But Lafayette Jefferson said, I just looked at my hands and my feet. Listen. When I tell you that whenever I saw that, I got a mirror. I put my feet up on the mirror and I was trying to look to. I looked at my child's feet. Josiah, let me see your feet. Because you know what? You never can say what people are not doing. And so I keep it 100 because we have to. And the thing with people, the thing with individuals that don't know is because it's just the lack of knowledge. It's the lack of knowledge. People are not trying to figure out things. It's that stigma. Well, why he asking about this? He must have it. Or why they asking about this? Or they must have been and had it. Or you must have been burnt before. Or you must have been. No, I'm asking because I've never experienced it.
Yeah.
I just want to know. You know, I ask. I want to know. I have a girlfriend, Deja. When Deja was putting on her makeup one time, I watched her put on her makeup, and you know what she told me? You must want to be a drag queen. No, I just want to see how you do this. I just want to know. I'm just curious, like that. You know, I'm curious, and so it's really, really, really important that we as people ask those questions. It's okay. If I'm about to, if me and Mimi about to lay down, I'm gonna ask Mimi, when last time you been to the doctor? Say, girl, what's up with it? You know, you good?
Yeah, but that's the question. You got to have them talks, man. Because I told my niece that about 2 years ago, because her boyfriend was having way more sex than she was in their relationship, and I said from there, I said you need to y'all need to use condoms. She said why? I said what you mean why? I said you don't. I said if he not. I said he young. He not using them out in the street. He ain't. He's not going. He's not going to respect you like that. So I said, so y'all need to go take a test. She said, how am I ask him to do that? I said, what? And then yeah. So that was a whole Aunt Mimi, conversation. But you have a lot of young people. They are scared to have that talk.
No, you know, my ex-husband and I, well, he's not my ex-husband and I, we went together and got tested.
Yeah.
This was before we even got married. It was one of those things that we went together. And I thought that was really, really special for our relationship, that we sit down together and went and got tested together. And then we, after that, it was kind of like one of those things where we said, okay, so we good. We know where we're going with this relationship. We know that we're all right. But you have to be able to discuss this kind of stuff. You have to. You need to know people's sexual history. I mean, you ain't got to tell me you've been with 30 people, because Mimi says she gonna lie. She only been with 3.
Every woman, no woman is gonna give you her body count.
Right.
Not a woman.
I'm not asking for a body count, but what I am.
No, but what I'm saying is, because in our culture, especially, it's not for women. Sex is not a thing that we really celebrate. We're taught to please the man and be a good wife, keep a clean house, and all that type of stuff. Sex is not really for us. That's how we're taught.
Right. But I want to be honest with everybody, and I want everybody to hear me when I say this. Everybody has been possibly exposed to HIV. If you've laid down with anybody, you have had the potential, it could be possible that you could be HIV positive. And so the thing with that is, have those conversations. It's okay. I mean, anytime you lay down with somebody, you don't know. And then we see, I was watching a video the other day where this girl was at a concert and she was holding up on her screen. She was just like, give it to me. I want it. I want it. I want it. Just at a concert, just actually broadcasting it. I've been to some of those sipping paints. I go to the ones, and I ain't ashamed to tell nobody where I go. I go to the ones where you can, the men be naked and they walking around and you painting and stuff. I've actually seen females during these sipping paints go off with these models and go in the bathroom and give them blowjobs and have sex with them. I've seen it with my own eyes. And so my thing is, you have people that are still out there doing that kind of stuff, and they don't care. April says, I raised my son talking openly about wrapping it up always. When he went to New York for college, I bought him a box of condoms and said, don't be stupid. If the box is empty, refill it. His roommates freaked out. I was so open. April, I'm proud of you.
But you know what's funny? When my brothers went away to college, my mother bought them both, went to Sam and bought big old boxes of condoms. When I went away to college, I said, well, where are my condoms? She said, what you need them for? I'm like, for real? So
Yes.
I mean, that's a cultural thing.
I mean, you have to educate. You got to educate yourself.
But
And you know what?
that's why so many black women over the last 30 years have contracted it.
You know,
Because we wasn't taught. We weren't taught. We was
I,
taught to keep our knees closed. They didn't tell us nothing about, protecting yourself.
I think that all black women, I think all women, I think that anybody should carry around a condom. I think everybody should have a condom. Mimi, I should be able to go in your purse when you're at work and find 3 or 4 condoms at the bottom of your
Child,
purse.
I ain't gonna have them because I'm tired. I don't feel like doing nothing. I want to go home and get in the bed. I don't want to do nothing sexy. Nothing.
I mean, so my thing is, you have to protect yourself. And so with this dude,
Child, I got a box of them in the house. Them things probably ain't no good no more. They been sitting.
my daughter went on spring break, and I gave her a box, and I gave her a box to her boyfriend. I ain't mad at it. Leslie Brown says she hates condoms. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So Leslie, let me ask you a question because you put that out there. What are you doing to protect yourself? How do you make sure that you're okay? Because Lord Jesus, Linda comes to hers dry rotted. We gonna get some condoms for you. Abstain. Okay. All right. So Leslie, let me ask you a question. Since you've been abstaining, so what happens now? What happens now if that special person comes along, special guy comes along, and they get you there? Are you willing to put on a condom? You're willing for him to put on a condom then, or y'all gonna go get tested, or what's gonna happen? Leslie said, "I ain't had sex." I mean, Linda said she ain't had sex since 2008.
But see, you know what the thing is too, because I always think about. But just say, okay, so just say you do go and get tested with your partner, right? But let's say they contracted it already, but it's just not showing up. So I mean, yeah,
I mean, so there's so many scenarios, Mimi.
it is.
There is, and so that's one reason why we have to protect ourselves. And I know that I stress that Black people have to protect themselves, but it's why it's every person of any person needs to protect themselves. You know, you gotta protect yourselves. I mean, it goes back to, you remember when everybody was doing heroin, and everybody was sharing needles and they was passing it around with needles and things of that nature. You literally got to treat a dick and a coochie nowadays like they got COVID. I'm gonna say it again. You literally have to treat every dick and every coochie like it's got COVID on it. To wrap it up. Wrap it up. Because if you don't, listen, you don't know what you're gonna walk away with. I've only been, not everybody. I don't know what they were talking about. I only been with a sexual partner at a time. And if I decide to sneak me creep, I'm gonna use protection and just have to take a Benadryl.
But you know what? Just because you're with that person don't mean that person you the only one that person with.
Jerry Waters said, you better preach, and it was before you suck it. Listen, you need to do whatever you need to do. Leslie said hers is good. Too many women my age was getting HIV. I'm 65. You're absolutely right, Linda. And let me tell you this. You find more sexually transmitted diseases in nursing homes.
Yes, Lord.
than you find it anywhere else. And you know why? It's because they are not providing the people in their nursing homes with contraceptives, and they're not talking to these older people. And these older people still have needs and wants and desires, And because people are in there and they're not telling them, it's okay to go ahead and have sex, you're not providing them with condoms and things of that nature. That's the reason why I had went to the doctor and I brought back a whole bunch of condoms. And I brought back a thing that said testing and everything. And I took it to my office and I was
Right.
gonna pass it out to the students. And my boss was like, Lamont, we can't do that here. And I was like, well, they can't ask me. And she was like, we can't do it like that. And so what we did do is we posted the HIV thing outside on the job board. And so that way, it's there, it's there because I want everybody to be protected. And I think that it's very important. Um, I heard it all. I'm telling you, Debbie, do some research.
Oh
Do some,
yeah, the numbers were yeah
the
in
number,
the nursing homes,
the,
they were rising fast.
they are very high. And you see HIV in the nursing homes, and they don't even know how the older people are contracting it. It was a bad case. I'm trying to remember where it was, but it was a very bad case of gonorrhea that went around in a nursing home. And come to find out, they were just passing it from each person to each person to each person, each person. And it was almost half the nursing home had it. And they didn't understand where they were getting it from. So they actually thought that one of the workers was sleeping with all the women and the thing and was passing along. It wasn't the workers. It was an older man that had gotten brought in. He was new and he had started making his rounds and these women were sleeping with other men. So it just got all the way around. I mean, you gotta do your research. And older people need love too. It don't die because it gets snow on it. Don't mean that it's dead. It's still hot on the inside. It still works. I mean,
Oh my
Amy,
God.
what's your other scenario?
So the next scenario, so you have uh a couple that engaged and married. Okay. Now you are your sister is the one that has gotten married to this guy. All right. Now you find out that your sister's new husband is cheating on her. Okay. And cheating on her with his boss's wife from somebody that you got the job. All right. This
Okay.
person was hard to employ.
Hmm.
So you go and tell your sister that husband is cheating on her and they no longer want to deal with you. What do you do in that situation?
That's on her dumbass.
Hmm.
That's her dumbass problem. My thing is this: if I come to you and I tell you, "Hey, your husband cheating on you with my boss's wife," and I know it for a fact, and you don't want to listen to me, that's on you, girl. And my thing is that speaks to something is wrong with her self-esteem, and I don't get what that is. Now, I'm not
Hmm.
saying that you have to leave every person that cheats. I think that there are sometimes that, and this is going to be probably an issue that you and I have with each other, but I think that sometimes when people cheat, they're looking for something that they never got, or they're curious about something. It doesn't mean that they don't love the person that they're with. It
Some
just
people
means,
just cheat because they can.
yeah, it could be that they
You
can,
just,
or
yeah.
they're longing for something, they're looking for something, or something of that nature. I don't know. But my thing is, it doesn't mean that you can't be forgiven. It just means that we need to have a conversation. We need to talk about it. And then I
Hmm.
need to know if you're protecting me. Have you been protecting me? What have you been doing to protect me? Have you been protecting me? Are you going to protect me? I've often said, I don't care if you
But the
go out.
thing about that, okay, now you done had the conversation, but they ain't protecting you. If they that disrespectful to do that, there ain't nobody protecting you. But now it's already done. So it's so funny because we have these conversations all the time at the bar. And folks would say what they would do. Well, I
Mhm.
would go inside their head and I said, but
Mm-mm,
now you got something.
mm-mm.
You can't unget it. It
Right.
didn't.
I'm not going upside your head because my thing is back in the day when I was younger, I probably would have, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't have time for that. My thing has always been, and I've always told anybody that I've ever been with, And listen to me carefully, what I've said. I've said, I don't care if you're gonna go out there and get a hoe or whatever you're gonna get, you make sure you keep your bitch in check. I don't ever want to see them, and they should never ever want to see me.
Hmm.
That's what that means. They should never ever want to see me, and I don't ever want to see them, nor do they need to ever disrespect my house. Once they cross that line, then you and I have problems because you allowed them into our space. You allowed them to call me. You allowed them to come on my job and disrespect. So now we have issue. And because we have issue, then we can no longer be together. You know, um, and that's what that is. You know, you can't never say what people won't do. You can't never,
Hmm.
oh, this person gonna be loyal to me. They love me. Oh, they do this, they do this. No, 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 no. Love, yeah, you can love me, but that don't mean that you're not gonna ever cheat on me, or that doesn't mean that you ain't gonna creep or you ain't gonna do something like this. I've seen it happen so many times, you know.
But you
Women,
know what a lot of people miss? You can have somebody that loves you with everything that they have, but that don't mean that that's the way you deserve to be loved, or that's the kind of love that you desire.
hmm
You understand what I'm saying?
hmm
So it could, and some people only know how to show it a certain way, or that's their pathology. They've only seen that. That's what they know. So it's that's a real gray. That's a real gray area. But what I'm gonna tell you, what taught me a long time ago is sometimes folks know what's going on, but they don't want you to know that they know
hmm
what's going on, because now that you know, they feel
It's
like they got to do something
not,
about it, and they don't want to do nothing about it. They
mhm.
good where they are.
It's not fun anymore. It's not.
Mhm.
It's not the excitement of it anymore. Once the other person finds out, it's not fun anymore. You know,
No,
and
I'm talking about the person that's getting cheated on.
oh yeah,
Sometimes
child.
they just stay in it, and they know, but they don't want you to tell them nothing.
Child.
Because now that's just their thing, their little thing that they dealing with, and it is what it is.
What I've learned in life, what I've learned in life is you never give a person all of the control over you, meaning your
Mhm.
feelings, your everything. And I know that we tell people, oh, you go in it and you love hard. You can love hard, but you can also protect yourself as well. And what I mean by that is you protect your feelings and your heart. It doesn't mean that I can't love you all the way, but I still know that I have to protect me and my feelings and my emotions. And when situations like this happen, you have to be really, really careful that you haven't given yourself or lost yourself in an individual to where that you can't walk away. That's
Right,
the problem. When you've lost your own identity, then you
right.
can't walk away. That's where the issue comes at. You still have to, and what bothers me so much is when people say, "Oh, you become one." And people take that literally and believe, oh, I got to mirror everything they say. Whatever that's not what one becomes. That's not what
Hmm.
that means that you're coming together as a union. You're still two different people. It takes two sides of a wall to hold up a building.
Right.
If both of y'all are working, and if one side of the structure is weak, it's gonna fall down. And as long as both of you are on the same page, we good. So my thing is, when you go into a relationship, you have to make sure you're having these conversations. This is all about conversation. What are you willing to tolerate in your relationship? Are you telling this person right in the beginning, cheating is a no for me, but then they cheat and then you still stay? So it was never a no for you. It was a okay for you.
Right.
Be open and honest. If it's a no for you, it's a no. Then let it be a hard no. And that's what people have to get to. You have to let your yays be yays and your nays be nays. It either
Mhm.
is a yes or no. What are you willing to accept? I'm too old now, Mimi, for me just to accept a whole bunch of foolishness. I can't. I'm 44. I hope that I live for another 30 or 40 years. But then
Right.
in 40 years, I don't want to go to the nursing home and get gonorrhea because I'm still trying to get it in and nobody told me what to do. I don't want it. I don't want it like that. So
Oh, man.
I want what I'm doing now to be productive. I don't have time to play games, you know? Life
Yeah.
is too short. And so for this woman that she was being cheated on by her husband that was messing with the boss's wife, that's a whole bunch of foolishness that's about to go down. Whole bunch of
Well,
foolishness.
it's still going down. Some things, yeah, still is. It is what it is. But some people, that's they, like we said earlier. Sometimes a man and a woman gotta understand it, and nobody else understands.
You know, on that note,
Yeah,
what are your closing remarks tonight, Mimi?
my
Debbie
thing is,
said she's not giving up no gray monkey. Debbie, you will. You will
most
give up that
important
gray
thing is
monkey.
just to be open, upfront, and honest. Don't take away anybody's options. Period. That's what I'm leaving everybody with. You know, honesty is best. Even when it's ugly and it's not easy and it's hurtful and it's an embarrassing, it's always the best policy.
So I'm going to leave you with this. Honesty is always the best policy, but protection is key. It's okay to be honest, but then also help protect the people that you come in contact with. It's not fair to anyone if you're exposing people to something that you know that could kill them, hurt them, or destroy them. So
Right.
many so many people are walking around now hurting and are depressed, frustrated, mad, angry because they were never given the opportunity to say yes or no.
Right.
People are dying because they were not given the opportunity to say yes or no.
True.
Don't have that on your conscience whenever you have the opportunity to help somebody, educate somebody, or to protect somebody. Protect yourself, and it ain't nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. It's how you bump and grind. That's the thing. It's how you do it. It's how you do it. Leslie said a lot of honest people tell lies. You're right. You're right. People that say that they don't lie, they lie.
Hmm.
We all lie. We all lie.
Absolutely.
We all lie. We all lie. And so the thing, what I want people to do is to look up something tonight. I challenge you to look up something tonight. And what I mean by that, look up STI. See what that means. Look up what gonorrhea, what it does to people. Look up syphilis. Look up some of these sexually transmitted diseases, chlamydia. Look it all up because it's important that we as people understand what is going around. It's important. And the scenario that Mimi gave me tonight, talking about a woman that was married, that had 3 children, and she had one that was HIV positive because she was positive and she never told her husband. Don't allow yourself to become victim to situations like that. Be open and honest and have open conversations. I love you all. Mimi loves you. She in the nail shop. We're gonna let her get back to them nails because I know they're gonna be fabulous. We want to say thank you to the nail tech tonight for letting us broadcast from her place. Thank
Yeah.
you. I love you all. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and follow us on YouTube. Again, it's In the Chair with Montee and Mimi. We love you all. Have a good night. And remember, have something to say. Good night.
I got something to say.